Mario Maker is a great game, but while I've heard people say that they want a port on the Switch, I personally believe this isn't a good idea. So in case you didn't know, Mario Maker is a game that came out on the Wii U in 2015 where you can make Mario levels. It came out to celebrate Mario's 30th anniversary, and in the game you can make levels based on various themes, like water levels. You can also make it look like the levels came from different Mario games, like the original. Nope, not that one. Not that one either. But yeah, that one. Mario Bros. 3, Mario World, and New Super Mario Bros. U. You know, the last game in that series that went on for way too long. Or at least, I think it's the last game. What if they make New Super Mario Bros. Switch? But anyway, me actually owning a Wii U really enjoyed the game. It's actually the reason that I got a Wii U. But unfortunately, the game didn't sell the best because it was on the Wii U. Because the Wii U didn't sell very well. But now the Switch is selling well, so people believe Nintendo should port it over to the Switch with like every other Wii U game. But I don't want this for many reasons. The controls worked well on the Wii U because you always had the touchscreen with you. But with the Switch, you only have the touchscreen with you when it's taken out of the dock in handheld mode. And even if you could use the touchscreen, it won't be as good as using the stylus on the Wii U because the stylus allowed for like exact placement of everything you want because the stylus was small enough to be able to place blocks in any area you wanted. But if you're using your big chunky fingers, then you could easily place a block in the incorrect area. It can still be possible, but it will not be nearly as good as the Wii U version. And if it's docked, you have to use like the joystick, and the joystick would not be good at all. Because with the Wii U version, it was so great because you could just draw anything. But if you're just using the joystick, it'll be so much harder to make everything. Say you're trying to make one of those like staircase things at the end of the level right before you touch the flagpole. With the Wii U version, you could easily draw it, but if you're using a joystick, you'd have to be like up to the side, up to the side, up to the side on the joystick, and then have to fill in everything, and it'll be overly complicated. And you'd probably accidentally mess up like 50 times because the joystick would not allow for as much accuracy as just using the touchscreen would. I also can't see this game being a good value. Let me just say, earlier I wanted there to be a port, but that was because at the point, the only port I really knew about was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that game was great, because even though it was a full-price port, it added so much. It had new characters like Bowser Jr., it added the Boo and the Feather item, and it had a full new battle mode that had like 5 different modes in it, and 8 battle tracks. And that game was great, so at the time, I thought the ports on the Switch would be great. Now we have stuff like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Lego City Undercover. Both games, originally on the Wii U, were $50, and now they're $60 on the Switch, and with Donkey Kong Country, all they added was Funky mode, so you're basically just paying $10 more to get on the Switch and get funky, yo. And every port on the Switch is full price. If they barely added anything but made it cheaper, that would be fine. But the fact that all these ports are full price just makes it awful when they don't add anything or barely add anything. For example, people say Mario Maker should have slopes, but it won't be a good deal to me if Nintendo just makes it $60 because you can play it on the Switch now, and it has slopes, and you have worse controls. And sure, Nintendo can just add a bunch of stuff to make it worth it, but seeing how they've been with all these ports lately, I don't think they'll do that. Now you may be thinking, well, if Nintendo makes a version where you can just make 3D levels, then it will be a completely new game, right? Well, if Nintendo makes a version of Mario Maker where you can edit 3D levels, it won't be very accurate to those 3D games. The great thing about Mario Maker is that you can make levels that feel real. They weren't restricted in any way. You can make levels that felt like they actually came from the games. You had all these items, and you could easily remake many levels from Mario games. But if you try to make stuff like worlds from Mario 64 or galaxies from Mario Galaxy, How would you even do that without giving people like a 700-page manual teaching people how to code so they could try to do 3D Land and World, because those games are kind of like 2D games. But first of all, a lot of 3D World levels have unique traits to them, like the goal flag moving away from you. And even to make really simple levels, how would you indicate everything you show in the first Mario Maker, that being the height and the distance from the start, while also showing the amount of depth? Or you can just make an entire Mario Odyssey kingdom and decide where every moon is. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the idea of Nintendo making a Mario Maker port on the Switch. Do you think they should do it? Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.